Well, I think we need to acknowledge their concern. Clearly, the cost of pharmaceuticals, be they human or veterinary, are constantly on the upward trend in price. This is something we're all sensitive to, particularly in a difficult economy. So I think acknowledging their concern. But one thing I've always thought was very helpful is to reframe the cost. The cost of the transaction today can be significant. I mean, my gosh, think of the cost. If I went home from your clinic today with a year's supply of heartworm preventive and a year's or 6 months supply of flea control, it's enormously expensive. But to help me, to help make that more palatable, tell me how much that costs per month. Or quite frankly, I like to even go one step further, translate it into a cost per day. Clearly, flea control and heartworm preventive for a pet is going to cost me less than $1 a day. Quite frankly, it's probably closer to the cost of a soft drink, closer to 50 or 75 cents a day. So when I look at it in that perspective, it's entirely reasonable. Remember, these are the same people that are spending $5 or $6 a day on coffee at Starbucks. So on a cost per day basis, it's a relative bargain. I think the other thing that's important to point out is explain to clients that the cost to prevent is significantly less than the cost to treat. And I'll just use heartworm as an example. The cost to prevent heartworm disease is probably 10 times cheaper than the cost to treat heartworm disease. So I think if we reframe it that way, acknowledge their concern about the cost, acknowledge the fact that all pharmaceuticals are constantly on the upward trend in price, human and veterinary, and then reframe it perhaps in a cost per day, and a cost to prevent versus a cost to treat.